not grant base will, and 10/10s would, because it is the same likelihood to roll both of those.
Okay, yes, but 10/10s has more 10s.
I hope they've been considering there's like a 1 in 10 billion chance we should get a base well if it happens.
Only the 10/10s.
That's fair.
Is final.
No. It should be for 11 10s.
As always is wise.
If we roll a flush, we get a expert dice for our willpower pool.
Okay, I'm not going to conceive of the ruling nightmare that would be, so we're gonna move on. Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
So, last session, we had Salsa Event Gamma, and then we had Johnny and the Rune Mother, and those events took up all of the time. So now we're on another day. Dredger has called a meeting with the candy shop at the Northern Docks, now 2 days from now.
Actually, the candy shop called the meeting with Dredger.
Right.
Dredger just responded. In case anyone's interested, what happened in Evil Squad last week is Angus and Leadfoot learned what it was like to be gaslit by a forest.
What happened in Evil Squad last week is... What happened in Evil Squad last week? Sorry.
Listen, the only important thing that ever happened in Evil Squad was the Pop-Tart cube. You can stop putting on the charade, Tom.
That's fair.
Nothing will top the Pop-Tart cube.
It just wanted to solve world hunger. It was done so dirty.
Yeah.
Was it 10 million calories?
He went out like a hero.
Have you noticed that Evil Squad has a significantly higher percentage of infinitely vast or infinitely old but still edible pastries than any other version of this city I'm aware of?
Okay, so we're gonna pivot.
Okay, we're gonna quit this.
Hold on, let me see it. Okay, so Seth put out a letter for a certain talent that was mentioned back in session 2. If you'll remember, back when the original party first washed up on shore with the 2 weeks of their memories blanked out, which pretty much is just Sweet Tooth now, I believe.
Hi.
There was talks of a talent who could make portals with wax, and a little letter was sent out, and in response, in the morning, you guys hear a little knock on the candy shop front door.
Sweet Tooth will head up to the door and peek his head out. Hello, we open and
You
Hi.
see an old lady, just flat gray hair, wide brimmed hat, multiple candles on the edge of the hat, leaking wax over. She's 4 feet tall, 90 years old at least.
I adore this lady already.
Going, hey there, dear. You said I got a letter from you.
yes, please come in. I'm gonna open the door and bring her in, find a table that we can sit at, because I feel like if I don't find her a table, she'll die.
What time of day is this happening at if the store isn't open yet?
Dawn.
Okay.
So, second to that, she goes, this nice young man's been helping me over. And it's like a freckled white guy with curly red hair, most Irish man you've ever seen, going, no accent, surprisingly, going, hey, yeah, I was just helping her cross the waterway. My name's Seamus. Surprisingly, we have met before.
Well, good to see you again. Could you remind me do I recognize him?
Not by face, but he pulls out a little glass animal figurine, and you immediately peg him as Skywright of Tristan's group from the Iron Legion.
Oh!
Didn't we murder all his friends from the first
No, we
session?
super didn't.
Murdered at least 2 of them.
Oh!
No, I don't think they were
Hema
actually in the
is
cast.
super dead.
I think it was just Hema.
Weren't we working on bringing Hema back to life with the power? Wait, no, the Vaqueros left the party.
Yeah.
No, and also
No,
Billy
issues of...
was injured. He did not die.
Yeah. I think it was
Oh, yeah,
just
the-
him.
Rip my boy Joey Murders, get him out of prison. Anyway,
In my hell.
So if I remember correctly, Tristan's group was sympathetic Like,
they are
the entirety.
they want the Gear Boys and Iron Legion to basically merge. They are not outwardly antagonistic to the hub, but they are they are not like explicitly on your side.
Sure. But we kind of have the same vision of reducing the Iron Legion's leadership. And I think sorry. I think the vision Tristan has and kind of what we're going for are at least similar. Is that
Be worth,
is that a decent read?
Yeah, like you've definitely like he's the one who gave you the list of names to take out, and it seemed to be in line with what you guys wanted. That's for sure. Anyway, Skywright, now known as Seamus, is going to take this old lady to a nearby table if you want to gather the party.
Yeah, just 1 second. You can feel free to stay in here, and I'll bring you a little bit
Moving
of.
at, like one step a minute. It's going to take her a while to reach the table.
Yeah, I'll run off and start grabbing people. Who am I the least scared to wake up?
Sam, is there a narrative necessity for Captain Dumont to be in this scene?
Depends. Does he want to talk to the old lady?
Not really.
Then no, but there are crew around if you want to have a presence in this scene.
There can be crew around if I want to have a presence in this scene.
I'm at the assumption currently that there's like always at least three crew members in the
Yeah.
in the
Not yet,
store.
but there
Like,
can be.
I always imagine one of them just has a hammock that is tied up on like the roof.
I imagine there's like 3 guys there that are always trying to figure out what flavors Sweet Tooth can't make. So they're just going through a list of things and bringing up the Sweet Tooth and then watching him make it.
You're not sure, but you think one of them might have been manning the counter the other day when you had to step up for a moment.
This is not something I thought you did, but I think you should do. I'd like to imagine that among all of the Army Men researchers, there's one Lilliputian crew member who's terrified they're going to figure it out today.
Day 67. They still don't know.
Yeah.
I like to imagine he's just the same. He's just like a regular human size.
He's a Lilliputian with a serious glandular problem then.
I don't know the Lilliputian.
The soldiers know, they just don't want him to be
Gulliver's
upset.
Travels.
Oh, okay, got it.
Lilliputians, little
Yep.
tiny
I remember Gullivan's Travels. I didn't remember that's what they were called.
As for the people you would want to wake up, first, as you begin walking down the hallway, Bill's closet door opens and he steps out, yawns a bit, rubs his eyes, takes the little wee willy winkle hat he puts on the tooth up, and it kind of gleams first in the sunlight, scratches his belly and walks into the kitchen to go cook up some bacon and the one hot plate you allow in this building for non-candy purposes. He sees you walking up there and says, "Oh, hey, what's going on?"
Hey, could you help me wake the others? There's a bit of a meeting this morning that I didn't expect to be quite this early, but I'll take it. It works.
Oh, how do you want? How critical is this? I can wake them all now if you like.
No, not that way. Just knock on their doors.
Okay.
Just out of game, you were gonna screech, right?
Yeah, Bill was going to I had a whole bit I was going to do actually, but I will save that for a later date. So Bill will go around knocking on people's doors.
I'm just gonna completely offload this to Bill because I don't want to deal with tired people.
Okay. Bill knocks
He'll
on.
Oh, go ahead. Go to Chivalry first.
Bill, I assume that Bill and Chivalry have doors next to each other. This is also interesting because I've kind of wanted to know for a while what the morning looks like in the candy shop. Bill knocks on Chivalry's door and says, "We got a pretty early guest. You should get up." And Chivalry, in classic fashion, comes out the tiny door that no one ever knocks on because they're not going to crouch down for that. Because of the door he made for himself. Puts
I feel
himself
like
together.
Charlie would.
Yeah, Charlie would, but I feel like Charlie sleeps in later than anyone else in the party. So, Chivalry will wander off into the kitchen. Bill will continue waking people up. Does anyone have a bit they want to do when he does that?
Kind of.
Go on. So I'll approach Propulsion's door.
It's cracked.
Bill will kind of peek his head in and say, "Hey, Propulsion, buddy."
Just laying in bed, just looking up, going, "Huh?
You good?
What?
Did
Yeah.
you?
What?
We got a guest this morning. Where Sweet Tooth wants to. Did you sleep, man? Are you okay?
Yeah. I got up like 4 hours ago. I went for a run. I had breakfast. And then I fell asleep.
It's like it's 5:50.
Is? Huh. All right then. Just kind of slaps himself and goes, "All right, let's go. Let's do this."
Okay.
You go.
Oh yeah, go, Mr. President.
Yeah, so you go to Mr. President's room. You hear like voices on the inside. You open up. He's changed his room around to be a meeting room, and you realize that he's still doing union meetings. He has not gone to sleep yet,
Oh no.
and well, he doesn't need to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's actually negotiating. He's like the Logan refugees are like trying to get safety, like OSHA safety standards removed, and he's just trying to add them back in to the contract.
Look, Hancock. This is Amadeus' foe. He's gonna sign up. Look, man, we work fast, we work cheap. Regulations just get in the way of that. I get 5 guys on that scrap heap. We lose 3 of them, but 2 of them survive, and we get the entire thing.
Listen,
Fewer cuts.
I cannot have people die on this.
Okay, we double it to 10, get it done in an hour, just wounded. Horribly wounded.
All right. What about protective gear? 10 guys,
I was thinking
protective gear.
t-shirts.
No. Protective gear, like maybe some good light armor, maybe a little heavy armor. You know, I could put those together for you.
You're not getting those back if you hand them to
That's fine.
Buddy, do you really want to pay? Okay, hold on. What if we have some mutants. How about we just throw the mutants in there? They are already hardier than us. So, worst case scenario, they come out of it missing a limb and with a superpower. It's easy.
You know, it's supposed to be the reverse, right? It's supposed to be me advocating for less regulations, but I don't understand that. But
Look,
man, you
we
gotta
take
respect
pride in our
yourself.
work. You've done right by us, and also, I'll be honest. It's just how we want to do things. We don't like going slow.
Okay,
All right.
you guys can go fast, but protective gear needs to be worn at all times.
We'll have
was
it
gonna-
nearby.
No.
was gonna
It
walk
needs to
up
be
into
worn.
this.
It's in the contract. Look, right here, section 6.2.3, safety gear.
Look, man, I need the adrenaline.
I was gonna walk into this and clap a hand on Amadeus' shoulder and say, "Hey, you guys clearly aren't gonna get anywhere this morning. Why don't you go off and go enjoy being haunted by the spirits of the men you've killed?" And Hancock, we got a guest here.
That's his power.
How did you know?
All right, we'll take a 30-minute break. Reconvene. I'll have some prototype protective gear ready.
Great. I'm gonna take 50 guys and we're gonna move that beach. Please note you
What
did not
beach?
ask him to do that. You're just gonna do this.
As he leaves, Bill reaches up off the wall and hands him one of the
I'm
candy
writing it quickly
crucifixes.
on the contract that he's moving the beach, and that we're paying for it.
Wait, no, we're not paying for them to do something we don't want done.
Listen, it's been 1,000 years. It's time for the beach's rotation. It saves money in the long run.
90 degrees vertically.
Is this like when you get your tires rotated?
Yeah.
We're gonna pick the entire beach up and flip it upside down. But vertically is a significantly more impressive.
I feel like we should stop
using
him.
their mouths. Anyway, cut into what you were gonna do.
Bill hands Amadeus one of the candid crucifixes that he's walking out and says, seriously, this place is really haunted. It seems like your ethic has killed a bunch of people. You really need to be careful.
I mean, killed is a strong word. We bring him back.
Just like
You
a
know, we
ghost
retrieve the
of
bodies. I should have clarified.
a Logan refugee runs into the cross.
It just picks up the cross, goes, I'm haunting this! It's the
And it touches the cross, they just poof and it says next time on Carrie Ling.
Oh. Oh.
Get fucked, idiot!
So Bill will continue down knocking on doors. I
Go to
assume.
Amp's door.
Yeah, I
Amp is
assume
also
it doesn't
green.
sleep.
Amp does not sleep either. Amp has been sitting there. So you open the door and realize there's a second door, and it's the old detective like glass door from like the 1920s. It reeks of fucking cigarette smoke.
Oh God. Bill pinches his nose and comes in and says, Amp, we have a guest.
I knew you'd come here, waiting for me to solve a mystery. Greatest
Amp.
detective anyone's ever seen.
Amp, I can hear you're a musician, Amp, but I hear in your voice how many cartons have you smoked in the last 24 hours?
You look to the left of you. There's like 3 full they're not cartons, but they
Pallets?
have the pallets.
Oh, jeez.
And then there's like obviously like an entire glass of whiskey done. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm hardcore.
You should talk to Amadeus. Actually, I think he'd like you. Just convene in the main room.
Okay, I'll be right there. Instantly changes his voice back.
Oh God. Does John have a room, Bill? Bob? Shit.
You called him Bill,
What?
how could you?
I called Bob Bill because
Bill.
Brain rot.
I've kind of always imagined Bayou Bill looking a little like Bob.
Oh, cool.
But does John have a room?
Does John have a what?
A bedroom.
What?
A room in the game.
Does John have a room?
Oh, no.
Sweet Tooth doesn't know he's there, so he doesn't have one.
Aw.
Does anyone even know he's there? He just kind of like...
Charlie, like, kind of knows he's there, but, like, he's not 100% sure about you. It's like, I think this is a friend. I'm pretty sure he is. He hasn't actually seen you do much, though.
John just kind of bums wherever he can. He has a sleeping bag in his backpack.
Okay.
He's just camping. He's on the roof.
This is nice. I get to watch the stars.
As Bill continues to walk down this hallway, he'll knock on a vent and say, "Hey, Animal, you there, man?"
You just hear fucking rapid metallic thumps. It sounds like something's just falling down a shaft. And they're just
Okay.
behind you. Hey, what's up?
Hey, we got a guest in the shop, someone who Sweet Tooth seems to have hired. I don't have much more information than that.
Say no more, he cocks a gun.
No, that's not. Actually, would you mind going waking up Avogdra? I don't know where she keeps her room actually, and I'm kind of
The ceiling.
scared of her, honestly.
Hold on. He grabs a broom and he just walks over to like the drop ceiling in front of the counter. He just pokes one of the tiles a couple of times and Wagner just falls.
I thought she weighed hundreds of pounds or something because of all the metal.
You
What
look
are these
up,
tr-
the drop ceiling is made of fucking concrete.
Sick.
Yeah. Also, it's probably been reinforced because of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Just so you know, right in front of where she fell, there's a room with her name on it.
Reasonable. Bill will walk up to a window and shoot a flare up to the spirit that, as it explodes, it like a firework, it comes out into like an alarm clock and a plate full of bacon.
Oh no, the spirit isn't here right now.
Please leave a message.
Then he notices that he's not hearing any of the usual activity and then says, "Oh shit, right. Fuck. Oh shit, the spirit's still in the Candy Ragnarok, isn't it?"
Is it? Maybe. I don't know.
The spirit is wherever the spirit.
He just
can
knows
be.
where it isn't.
Yeah, the spirit knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. It knows this because it knows where it is.
No. Wake up, Charlie. Just stop this.
Bill will go to Charlie's room.
Instagram fitness test is a multi-state.
Down.
When you knock on Charlie's door, you just hear like a muffled come in.
Bill enters the room.
He's like flopped halfway out of the cot wearing the whaler mask. Just like dragging himself up to his feet, like, hey, what do you need?
We got a guest in the candy shop, and do you sleep in that?
Yeah, I
don't
can't
have
see
an
out of my eye. I can't see out of my eye with it on, so like, it's handy.
That's fair.
He's gonna like pop it off into his backpack.
You sleep wearing that too?
No, it's sitting next to my bed.
Albert crawls onto your back with a bottle of water in his mandibles.
I'm gonna like feed him some of the water, and I'm gonna drink from the same thing that I just fed him from.
Albert enters backpack mode.
Albert drinks only the foulest of Dasani.
For whatever reason, even though we filter it, this water always makes my tongue numb.
I can think of a couple of reasons. Just go into the rec room, man.
So wait, why are we all summoned here? I assume the old lady's still not there yet because she's still walking.
You actually see the old lady, redhead, and actually Crystal, the crystal ball lady, are all on the table. Crystal is just ecstatic because the old lady's doing tarot readings. And it looks like Crystal's just into that kind of stuff.
Sweet Tooth's gonna be standing by the door, like waiting for the first person to walk by, and was like, "Do you know how she got in here? I didn't see her come in."
Before he's already standing behind you, having a really animated conversation with Seamus and Gaelic.
He fucking speaks it.
Mr. President will walk up and also speak Gaelic because he understands all languages. Just to strut on Bill. That's it. Or, sorry, just to strut on Chivalry. I assume speaks Gaelic.
Seamus immediately cottons on to what you're doing, so he immediately just starts swapping dialects, trying to find one you'll stumble with.
Students start switching between like weird Middle Welshes and old Gaelic, some ancient Irish.
Okay, Seamus has goozled himself because Mr. President speaks all of those and he doesn't.
I'm going to switch to an even earlier dialect of the dialect he's using.
Linear. You're using the verbal version of Linear B.
Yes.
Ooh.
Hey, Granny, so you were talking about rose quartz and its healing properties. Well, it doesn't heal, Sonny. It just kills the conversation.
We're over here having linguistics gymnastics, and they're talking about rose quartz.
All right. Well, we're all here, so we should probably go have a chat with them. I don't know why Crystal's here, but that's probably. I don't know if
Crystal's
that's
an
okay.
important member of the team.
Sure. We'll go. Like sit down at the table. I don't know if we have a table big enough, so we probably put a few together and sit down at them.
Repulsion is helping to make breakfast. He has actually got a few fish from Fisher to try and like alleviate the nutritional deficit he's seen in this like meal plan.
Hey, there is no nutritional deficit. You just can't notice it because it's all encased in sugar. Sweet Tooth is like the picture of health because he eats healing candy to get rid of all of his diseases, namely diabetes.
Yeah, okay, there's like a flavor deficit, though.
There's absolutely not.
It's the principle of the thing.
Repulsion's just muttering like, I still know it's sugar. I can't, like, years of nutritional information. I cannot just. Anyway,
I just hand him like a bunch of nutritional sheets for the candy and just watch him weep.
like, he's trying to be very polite. You do see him gag when you hand him that much candy. Like, he's trying so hard to keep it under wrap.
It's just the sugar content that's high. He actually has made enough candy in different ways that he can just cover all of his nutritional needs.
It's horrifying.
Seeing him start crying, Bill will hand him a plate of some bacon that Bill gets when he hunts. I reckon that, Bill, I say to him, now I realize the problem you're having, but I reckon that, well, I don't really want to tell you where this bacon comes from exactly, but I reckon it's still better.
Repulsion nods, eats a strip raw, goes, no, this is fine.
Bill looks down at the plate of clearly cooked bacon and wonders where he got raw.
There's a piece of candy bacon in there. Not candied candy. You don't know how it got there.
Damn it, we talked about this.
Propulsion's just gonna stick his head through the door. It's not too good for you, buddy. Goes back.
Repulsion's just looking. They're all cooked. Where did I get a raw one? Anyway, we're cutting back to.
This is exactly how I thought mornings in this place would go.
So the old
Like
lady is
1-to-1.
named Granny Witherwax. And
Hey now.
Yeah, that Mima Waxweather.
Oh,
Hey now.
I feel like I'm missing a reference.
Oh, you're missing a big reference to it. Like if Mima Waxweather doesn't live up to the namesake, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, likewise.
Sorry. I'm so okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have aimed so high. I am Icarus.
Yeah,
As much as you're aiming so high, you shouldn't have aimed for such a well-developed character already.
It had wax in the name, and I floundered. Okay, so, I
That's
didn't
fair.
Think this character was coming back. So, with Grandma Wax is gonna nod to you and just go. So you had something you wanted me to do? Some questions, perhaps?
Yes, I don't know the nature of your power exactly, and I just wanted to know if you could make something. And I'm not going to explain it out because I don't know the exact technical terms, but I basically want little portals that I can use to teleport stuff inside Iron Legion helmets. It would be installed in the helmet, just so that like basically you could feed them candy while after they're fully armored.
So, Grandma with a Wax is gonna take out a wax stamp seal, like the little weighted seal you do for stamps. She goes, well, it's quite easy. She goes up to one of the candles in the river hat, lets a little bit of red wax drip onto the seal, presses it down at one point, presses it down at another. Now, when this seal is broken, she pushes a finger through, the wax seems to melt and spread, and it forms a linked portal. Now that's the red wax. It'll make portals. You can, she draws a few symbols in the wax. You recognize it as similar to runecraft, but it appears to be its own esoteric thing. Now, this will control the triggers. So we can have the portal open on certain triggers, such as one way, certain times, though if you want different seals, the different waxes would be more appropriate for various thaumaturgical and symbolic references, of course.
Sweet Tooth's gonna nod along.
Primarily, I use them for sealing letters. She takes a letter out of her coat. This one is sealed with Silver wax, for example, this one will only open in 7 years. The paper is rendered indestructible, the seal is totally unbreakable. Very handy.
I see. That does sound handy. So portals are what we're looking for. Would it be possible to make a smaller number of... Well, no, that's not even necessary. Is there a way that you can have transferable red wax portals that we could give out to some people to help get something through, ideally some armor that is covering people's faces?
Absolutely. She takes out a paper, stamps some wax, draws some... it looks like... so Mr. President would recognize it as Hebrew numbers, going 1 to 12, and then she would take out 12 pieces of papers, do similar stamps, and then have like a big corresponding number. And she would just pick up a nearby marble, drop it through the first portal. It comes out of the first paper, she grabs it, puts it through the same portal, and it comes out the second. It's all on how you want to iterate it. The delivery method, you see.
I don't think that the delivery method needs to be complicated. I was honestly thinking, and if there's an easier way to do this, that's fine, but I was just thinking have an individual seal linked and just do individual portals that each person could run their own objects through.
Deary, if you want to manage 50 letters at once, I'm not going to stop you, though a stiff breeze might.
I see. Could you then have... could you have then one wax seal connected to, say, 20 to 30 other portals?
Precisely.
Okay.
She just hands you this setup she's made. Just attach it to the inside of the masks. Simple water will do. It's very sealable paper.
Play. And how much will you want for this?
Oh, nothing. She pinches Crystal's cheek. You've been so nice to my granddaughter.
Oh, I didn't know that was your granddaughter. Oh, it's lovely to meet you.
Crystal perks up. I didn't either. Seamus, like, silences her.
No, I did want to make you an offer. I was planning to make this offer in either lieu of payment or besides it. I have in the past made candy that restored portions of my memory. There was a period semi-recently that the both of us woke up on a beach and I believe had lost some memories. And while it's not a perfect restoration, there was some that I got back from that. And I was going to offer you a piece of that to see if there's anything you could get back, if there's anything you're missing.
Dear, I've lived a very long time. I know when I should stay out of things.
I understand. Well, if there's anything you need or want, the door is always open.
I am going to
Except when it's closed.
Except for when it's very much closed. She's going to thank you for your time. If no one else has any questions, she's just going to get back to talking about, like, weird esoterica with Crystal.
Bill does have a question for her, actually.
Okay.
Bill asks, now, I'm sorry, I was preparing breakfast for people here, and would you like a plate?
Oh no, dear. She holds up a bag of Werther's original butterscotch cookies. I'm sad.
That makes sense. I don't know why that makes perfect sense to me.
Sweet Tooth recognizes it as his knockoff brand, but
Yes. I couldn't decide if I wanted to derail to ask.
Sweet Tooth's Werther's, spelled with a U.
Where? Anyway.
Bill asks, but it seems like you can make gates with wax.
I make seals, dear. Very different. It's all in the nature of the boundary.
Is there perhaps a way you could create something that I don't like to use it, but I do have a ability that could travel some range. Is it possible you could make something that I could prepare a location where my range is increased using it?
Only through fixed points.
Hmm.
If you're speaking about the tooth, I don't particularly think it would respect any delineations of man, if you catch my meaning.
Bill sits down and asks, I do, but may I ask what you know of the tooth?
Oh, just that it looks like it's chomping on the reality around it. You can tell it has a bit of a shimmer to it.
Okay, this is maybe a weird time to bring up that the reason Bill's tooth is blue is the same reason that Discworld's death scythe is blue. This woman being named after a
I don't know
Discworld
what that
character.
means. I don't know what that means.
No, there's a lot of fucking Discworld happening here that I didn't expect to come up this fast.
What do you mean this fast? Why did you expect it at all?
It's the city, Sam.
That doesn't answer anything. Okay. So while Discworld's happening, Seamus is going to subtly step away from the table and just hat Mr. President and Charlie on the back. And he's also gonna grab propulsion if propulsion is there.
Repulsion or propulsion?
Propulsion, Fireboy, Bob, your character.
Yes, he is there. He is sitting. He pulled a table up, a chair back, and is using the extra table to prop his feet up. Because he's not going to inconvenience a guest, but he wants to put his feet up.
Looking around, he also misreads the situation and just grabs one of the random Dumont. Are there any random Dumont crew members here, Derek? You think?
Sure.
All right. He grabs one of the Spirit of the Unknown's cooks, are just in the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He goes, "Hey, while they're distracted, you four." He looks at the cook.
No hablo inglés.
You three seem like the most situationally aware here. He pulls out.
That's an interesting read, but okay.
He pulls
Española, por favor.
Lo siento, mi amigo.
Sí.
Yo tengo un. Fuck, high school Spanish is failing.
I like to imagine that Seamus said that. I like to imagine Seamus
We
not
can
Sam.
just assume that they talked in Spanish for a few minutes, and then the next time the crew member started talking, it was in English again.
Seamus is gonna be so mad. Anyway, he pulls out this finely worked iron, looks like a canvas holster. He messes with a few mechanical locks as it springs open, and he rolls out some paper. Tristan sent me. Well, in a sense. He has some info for you guys. One of your people met up with him recently. Something about a civil war. Were you guys informed about that?
What do you mean, one of our people?
Your guy at the foundry?
Oh, I understand. Yes.
Okay. So
Sorry, there was a split in loyalties among us, and I was concerned about who you could have been talking about.
Bogus?
But we're good.
Wait, what? Bob, what?
Repulsion's gonna scream, "That's the one you know!"
Jesus.
Of all the fucking things!
My knowledge is selective and stupid. Get off my back!
Repulsion just throws a fucking oven.
Hey, no, Ben, we need those. Go throw a sandbag in my room or something.
Sweet
I'm
Tooth
gonna
is
go
just
help remove
standing.
the beach!
Sweet Tooth is just standing behind Repulsion. You're gonna put that back, right?
Oh yeah, of course. He just
Okay.
puts a magnet ball
And he just, like, walks
slams
off.
into the wall. There we go.
Chivalry makes eye contact with Propulsion and says, "Trouble in paradise, eh?"
I'm not going to dignify that with the new.
What was the crew member being asked to do? I'm afraid I didn't actually get any of that out of that gibberish.
I think they just thought he was Dumond.
So Tristan doesn't actually know who Dumond is. He just knows Dumond is around, and you looked like the most piratey person there. So
Fair enough.
Grab the crew member.
Excellent.
Alright, so...
Manuel will be your Dumont.
Huh, didn't know his... I always thought Dumond was the name. Anyway, so...
I am your Dumont now.
Why do you scare me? Okay, so he's going to point at these papers and go, okay, so Tristan has a job that may help us out with the Civil War. Currently, the flotilla is owned by the zombies that have popped up, and most of the trade is being... I imagine this is your split loyalty situation. But while that's one of our major trading partners, the other is the acid pit over here, as Seamus outlines an area on the map. If you guys can take control of the acid pit and get its people on your side, that'll pretty much, like, people who have material concerns in the Iron Legion would be split between you and the people in charge of the flotilla. It would help us out immensely, especially since the flotilla provides us a lot of the raw materials we need, but a lot of the advanced stuff we get from the acid pit. So you'd essentially, if you can control it and cut off the Iron Legion from it, you would really hamper their ability to make like the more advanced armors, like the Goliaths and Leviathans.
I see. I have a slightly off-topic question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way you could set up a meeting between this is Charlie, not Sweet Tooth. Is there any way you could set up a meeting between our group and the Cayman?
Or
at least
is currently indisposed, building a power base. I could set up one between you guys and the Fringe Marquis. He's injured.
That will do.
Oh no. Him and Dumont have to fight when they meet, though.
No, they don't. They don't have to fight. It just makes an interesting scene.
Yeah.
We're on the same side, and I love
They have to have a rap battle.
Oh, is it going to be teeth clenched teamwork?
Yes, I love that.
So
The
Seamus-
29th of the 30,000 secret masters will be there, and you have to work together.
So Seamus is going to nod and go, alright, I do hate this part. He shakes the tube once and a sword handle falls out. He's going to go, do you have any salt?
Oh, are we doing it now?
I pull out some salt.
Awesome.
Manuel also pulls up.
Wait, how did you guys get salt in here?
But
My
he pulls it out of Mr. President's pockets.
He goes, alright, this'll work. He drives the sword handle into the salt. You guys hear some light that somehow robs the brightness and visibility from the area around it as he pulls it out as a blade emerges. And next thing you know, the Fringe Marquis is the one holding the blade in addition to Seamus as he takes the blade from him. He goes, that's quite enough, thank you, I'm here.
I hand the sword he gave me back to him.
Manuel holds up a finger and says, "Un momento, por favor." Turns around, ruffles through a closet, and when he turns back around, he's got a black cape, a Zorro mask, and a rapier, and he says, the Fringe Marquis, mine old enemy! We meet yet again!
No memento. Charlie's gonna run off and grab Sweet Tooth.
He says all of this, I'm not going to try and imitate it, he says all this in a very thick Spanish accent.
While everyone's doing this, Bill will hand the French Marquis a plate of bacon, eggs, French toast.
I don't think the French Marquis has a face.
Bill's still gonna hand him a plate because it's rude otherwise.
The Fringe Marquis sits down. He's still missing an arm. He's just kind of covering that with a cloak right now. His movements aren't as fluid as they were back at the flotilla.
Can we have Amp fix that?
Manuel is flourishing in the background
fix
without
that.
anyone paying any attention.
But Amp's not in this scene. Amp's talking to the old woman and watching the tarot cards. And now thinking maybe he wants to be a tarot reader and might quit his job on the force.
Oh no. Would that be a good or bad thing for?
That would be a horrible thing for you guys.
Not
You
for
should-
us. I'm worried about Mannequin.
Do both, so if I ever bring in Augur Ray Jackson, he can have someone to be really angry at.
But yeah, Charlie will come back with Sweet Tooth.
I feel bad for Manuel. He's doing so many cool stunts in the back.
He really is.
But you can,
he's
you
putting
can
his all
ask
into
Amp, and he will like nonchalantly regrow their arm.
It is, however, all stage fighting stunts. None of it is actual like sword fighting stuff.
So as Amp comes
Six,
in
though.
on the Fringe Marquis doing a backflip over Manuel's expert thrust.
Oh,
Perfectly timed to be easy to backflip over.
Yeah, exactly.
Amp would like to
Beautiful.
also attempt to do a backflip over him doing a backflip.
Roll athletics for me.
Oh, it's great. I know that Amp's going to fail this, but I wanted to do it anyway. It's no mattress.
All right.
Manuel would like to assist.
Okay, I'm
Add
going to
one
roll.
dice.
Okay, that's 2 4s.
All right.
Yes!
So Amp fucks up the backflip, but Manuel swoops under, and they go back to back. Amp rolls right over, lands on their knees, does a strum on the guitar as they do the heal.
Your favorite feline
Unfortunately, it looks
hero.
like healing powers do not help the Fringe Marquis at all.
It's not. I have a regrow power.
Regrow, healing, nothing in that entire family of powers works on the Fringe Marquis.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm good. I'm going back to watching this old lady.
Cool.
And seeing the power fail, Chivalry will walk up to the Fringe Marquis and ask, I realize it may not be polite to ask, are you human exactly? I can repair things that are like myself. Would that be able to fix you?
The Fringe Marquis is going to lean down towards Chivalry, and Chivalry is going to feel some static creeping in at the edge of his mind as the world seems to go a little bit dark. As the Fringe Marquis, droning through like this almost completely opaque black fencing mask, goes, "Little puppet, there are 4 walls around you right now. Do not break them if you're not ready to see what lies beyond."
Chivalry,
And Manuel makes a
Wonders.
turn, stops fencing for a moment, makes a turn, says something that nobody can quite understand, and then turns back and starts fencing again.
Manuel is the fucking spirit of this thing. If Manuel dies, the entire setting is done, honestly.
Manuel just fourth wall broke, but nobody in the scene could understand what he was saying.
I love that. He's trying so hard, and I appreciate him so much.
If he ever gets into an actual fight, he's still just going to get completely wrecked, though.
It's the spirit of the thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the spirit of the unknown.
Title drop.
He said it. He said it. He said it. He said it.
Amp will start playing your intro song without even realizing it.
So the
'Cause you
intro
double
plays,
drop.
you guys see just this massive chunk of floating letters go, "Spirit of the Unknown," full impact font floating down.
But-
It
but
just starts
the
crushing
theme
the
is the
Fringe
Mask of
Marquis. He goes,
Zorro
"What the
theme."
fuck?"
The theme that you're playing is the Mask of Zorro theme.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'm just Sweet Tooth's just gonna ask, like, would you like me to wait to ask questions until after you're done fencing, or do you want to do that during? I'm good
I
either
don't know
way.
why I'm here.
Yes, I wanted to have a meeting with you. I didn't realize it would be immediate. Sorry.
Normally,
Can-
I like the
can we sit and
scenes that
talk,
are a bit
or-
more cinematic? You know, to be a thematic, fitting, dramatic. just moves the plot along towards its inevitable end. But no, now I do these scenes now. All right, cool.
How about a negotiation scene?
Not my forte, but I'll do my best.
Elio's over his shoulder. Mr. President, can we borrow your room for this?
Okay, you've got. And he looks at his watch. 20 minutes until my next meeting.
That'll do. We'll go sit down in Mr. President's room.
just
So,
convert it to an office space.
I don't have a full understanding of this, I want to be clear with that, but I am aware that both you and the Cayman are involved in beginning a civil war of sorts in the Iron Legion. Is that correct?
In a sense, I just view it as moving from one act to the next.
Well, I would like to facilitate that movement on the side of your victory. Put an end to the arc of the Iron Dragon, specifically. And I'm willing to offer my services to move that forward. Sweet Tooth's going to pull out a piece of paper and kind of like write down vaguely what that candy I sent you does.
Without even looking at it, the Fringe Marquis is going to go, the silver tongue you've provided has been very useful. Has
Thank you.
expedited a number of tedious scenes. What we need now is leverage, foreshadowing. We need groundwork to be laid, smaller victories preceding the fall. There are certain players we're not going to be able to remove before the time comes, but there are extras who I can commit to certain scenes. They'll make it more difficult, but it'll give you a chance to remove them separate from the whole. For example, I still have some sway in the Iron Legion, and I do have say when it comes to diplomatic operations. If I say that I'm worried our grasp on the acid pit is slipping, I could have some notable members sent out, where they would be vulnerable to your intercession.
I understand. And then we could, well, intercede.
Correct. The question becomes, who do you feel confident taking?
Well, I don't know your guys that well. I don't know who you have and
let's
who I could
start down
kill.
with what capabilities you would like to remove. Would you like to remove people who produce things, people who have long-range attack capabilities?
I would like to remove you, villain! This does not interrupt the conversation, it's just sort of in the background.
As if from a great distance.
Next room over.
Think of a capability that your opponent has that you would like to remove. And if you don't know if they have it, just ask. I'm very familiar with the going-ons.
Well, a thought I have, and I'm not 100% sure about the effectiveness of this. We have Charlie, who is notably long range. The biggest threat to Charlie interfering, I think, would be those long range attackers. I would then assume it could be beneficial to remove the long ranged people, if you could have them set. I would also imagine long range fighters would be much weaker in short range and would be easier for us to remove once they arrive at the acid pit.
Okay. So the four I can think of would be the Lead Rain, Bombarda, Molten Sky, and Railgun. Railgun's neutral right now. Bombarda is on our side. That leaves I could get Lead Rain for sure, but I don't know if I'd be able to get the fourth. I can try.
Why do all the characters in the
What
Iron
about-
Legion have
what about-
sick fucking names?
All right, I've got all the major people we had to kill. So there's Steel Rain, Iron Curtain, Colt, Juggernaut. Those are like 3 of Iron Dragon's biggest allies. If I'm looking at my notes correctly. Is correct, Sam?
Was it Steel Sovereign or...
Nope, Steel Rain.
Oop. Okay.
Orbital bombardments, that's his big thing. Iron Curtain does power negations.
My bad.
Juggernaut has magnetism.
I did Lead Rain because I fucked up the fucking name. So
That's fine. That happens.
I was just making sure we were talking about the same person, that was all.
Yep, my bad. Change that to Lead Rain. I forgot I changed that name.
Well, would it help to facilitate that? I'm going to pull out a few pieces of Silver Tongue and hand it to him. Might help the process?
Wouldn't be talking to do this.
Well, could you give that to the people who would be? Or would that be better with Seamus over there?
It would be difficult to explain to you, but I'll take it as a gift.
Thank you. The next order of business. I assume there's going to be a large fight at some point.
Against the forces of Felony!
Yes, there will be.
I'm going to tap the sheet of paper I wrote on earlier. I can provide this for the large fight. I would just like to have some negotiation with how the leadership of the Iron Legion is set up afterwards.
That'll be doable. I'm only here when things end. I have no interest in new beginnings.
No compromise with entropy.
If at some point... do I understand correctly that the Cayman would become the new leader?
Either him or the Ironmonger.
Would it be possible to have a meeting with one or ideally both of them before this happens? Or is that off the table?
Perhaps for a moment, but instead of focusing on talking, you probably do want to shore up some plot threads. Do find a way to smuggle in Salvador. You need to have him there if you want the game to even believe he's alive for a second.
Yes, we can bring him.
That would probably expend the one scene you're going to get.
Sorry, expend or extend? I didn't hear
Expend
what you
with
said.
a P.
Okay.
Out of character, I have an idea of a plot thread that presumably the Fringe Marquis would notice, but Bill doesn't know it.
What? What does that
So
mean?
I do get the sense...
It's a joke that Sam told me is a thing that is very funny and could potentially be a plot thread, but I don't know how to present it since Bill doesn't know. I don't have any way in character to have this information. And Bill currently isn't in the room.
Manuel can burst in and exposit if you want to get particularly blatant.
Alright, as Manuel bursts in, Bill will be chasing, like, wait, no, they're in a meeting. They're in a meeting.
I've forgotten my lines! And then Manuel throws himself out of a window.
Bill sighs and says
So
to
he's
everyone,
just gonna put his head in his hand.
You see a floating paper pamphlet that just reads Manuel lines.
There's
Bill
a lot of
looks
ink on it.
Bill looks at everyone and says, I'm so sorry. I tried.
Manuel, read your lines.
Manuel jumped out a window.
I know, I was directing that at Bill.
Ah,
So what does Bill see on the piece of paper?
What do you need?
to
Oh,
see
you tell me.
is the spotlight?
The plot line is... So Bill will say out loud... He'll look really confused that Manuel had this and say, "Hello, my name is William Beauregard Sherman."
it's got Bill's lines on it too. It's only Manuel's that are all blacked out with spilled ink.
Alright, Sam, do I need to message you what I'm going for here?
Go for it.
No, just
Or just say it.
say it.
You had implied that Bayou Bill was the Cayman's grandfather?
I'm not sure I have the power to confront my own grandfather, it says, Bill says.
Like, you had told me that that because of like Bill's from 2003 and the Caymans from like 2050.
The timeline checks out.
If it wasn't clear, this is all me invoking the arc of the narrative universe.
Thank you for this power.
Sweet Tooth's gonna just stare at this like dead-eyed.
Bill reads on a bit, and, like, moves through, like, he folds the piece of paper, like, he keeps flipping it, and the text on it keeps changing. And he says, what? He looks up the fringe marquee and says, I might be the Cayman's grandfather.
The Fringe Marquis gently takes the script from your hands, goes, don't look too closely at that.
Manuel, the moment the Fringe Marquis takes the script from him, is going to burst backwards through the window. It's mostly a flop, honestly. And say, unhand my script, villain!
Manuel just has a sword. You see the sword float out of the Fringe Marquis' scabbard and just, faster than the eye can track, just hold itself at Manuel's throat.
Manuel will bat at it ineffectually with what is now quite obviously a prop sword.
Take this back.
You cannot keep a good man down! Thwack, thwack, thwack! I will have my revenge! Fear me, but follow!
The Fringe
11
Marquis
barrels of
gently
hell!
Places, with his one good arm, gently places the script on Manuel's chest, and with one finger and just one step at a time is just slowly walking him back to the window as he says, take this back to your captain and tell him to keep his affairs in order and in line, as he pushes him out the window.
I have no idea what you mean, I am Captain Dumont!
Isn't it only like a fucking 5 foot fall because I'm the
It's still Dopplers.
Now that that's out of the way, the last thing I did want to ask you, did you want me to see if there was any way I could attempt to repair you, or will that solve itself in time?
Just a matter of time. As things draw to a close, I'll be more in my element, but quite frankly, I'm not meant to keep going on like this.
You're meant to come to an end, I assume.
And I am well past that point of expiration.
I understand. Well, I don't think it's my place to end you.
No, it is very much not at this point. Either way.
Anyways, speaking of bringing things to a close, unless you have anything, I do believe that's a wrap.
Oh, we'll ask again, like, just shell-shocked. Am I actually the Cayman's grandfather?
Probably, but maybe not this Cayman's.
Oh.
It gets hard to tell. Bill
gets up and just, like, staggers out of the scene. You hear his closet.
Tries to grab you, like catch you on the shoulder, go, listen, Beauregard, if it mattered, if it was relevant, it would have come up by now. But it hasn't. Don't think too closely on what fate has in store for you. It'll come in its own time.
Alright, Like, Bill is just shell-shocked.
Alright, he pats you on the back, goes, free will is a myth, and he floats out on a sword.
Damn. Damn.
You cut out for that last bit. What the hell did I miss?
He pats by you, Bill, on the shoulder, goes, free will is a myth, and then floats out the window on a sword.
Ooh, rough. See, this is why Captain Dumont keeps trying to stab him. Among other things.
Bill says to no one in particular, is this just the way the captain feels all the time, knowing what no one will come, and I don't. And
Captain Vaughn knows what's going to come.
Bill doesn't. Bill has one mind. Like I don't.
Hey, is that a good?
Vaughn is going to do in the next 5 seconds?
Say, was that quote good? Can I publish that?
Yeah, go for it.
Once out in a sword.
Oh, and I meant on. I made a typo.
Seamus is gonna nod at that entire scene and go, okay, so just because I need to know, did any of you understand like half of the shit he was saying?
I got most of
never
it.
do.
I think I got most of it. I've been around Tamand long enough that I just kind of understand when people start talking about narrative and how to translate that into like normal people terms.
Like I did a rib at him once. Like I made like a minor insult. Like you know how we like banter, and he just looked me dead in the eyes and says, "How does it feel to not exist 90% of the time?" And I don't know what the fuck he means by that.
Yeah. No, I understand what he means.
Seamus, it's not. Don't. Seamus, do I look like the Cayman to you? Do I look like him?
Oh, Bill, please. Go sit down in your room. You need a minute.
Mr. President will go get. Where's Salazar?
Salvador.
He's still here with us.
Dead. Salvador is on the 2nd floor right now.
I'm gonna go get him and take him to Seamus.
I get the feeling that Bill did a shitty job waking everyone up to have them convene.
Bill did fine. Everyone was up.
Also,
I mean, all of the members were up. Like everyone that was needed to be there was there.
So I wanted to scroll to Bill's loyalties to see and passions to see exactly how learning he might have family in the city would affect him, and I forgot that every time the candy shop is referenced on his character sheet, I changed the font to Comic Sans.
God.
I hate that.
That's
I love
excellent.
it.
Alright. So Salvador, he follows along wordlessly at first and goes, "Why am I being grabbed? What's going on here?"
We gotta take you to your friend at some point. So I was gonna have you meet one of his people to see what time would be good to bring you over to him.
Hey. Salvador enters the room, sees Seamus there, goes, "Okay," pulls a gun immediately.
No.
Violence.
No. How did you get that? We're not supposed.
And pulls a gun as well. But if you look at it, it's actually like one of the toy guns that sounds like a real gun when it like does smoke.
A crewman is standing sort of off to the side, offering anybody who doesn't have a gun like a flintlock. He's just got a tray of them.
How did you? We're not supposed. I don't want weapons in here. We've talked about this.
Anyway, I sort of sheepishly hide it behind his back.
So please, we're trying to have a neutral meeting here. Actually no, not even neutral. Positive meeting here.
Okay, he's with Legion now. I recognize him.
Good. That's good that you recognize him, so you can know him and talk to him. Have we filled you in on what's going on right now? Because I know we've been talking about it a lot, but I don't know that you've been down much.
Details. I have some details, especially since, I will be honest, Animal is a bit of a gossip. But,
I know.
you look over... Animal is currently stuffing his face full of InfoSec medallions, going, "Huh?
You gotta
Those
stop
aren't the
spreading.
candy ones, please. The candy ones are
You gotta
within
stop
over there for
gossiping,
you.
and Mr. President's telling him that. You gotta stop, buddy.
Animal's gonna think for a second, "You mean they're not full of chocolate?"
No, the chocolate ones are in the other room. You can hear like a pain in Sweet Tooth's voice as he says
the
this.
sound of compacting metal as Animal slowly closes his jaw anyway. Anyway, so we're gonna cut back to the office as Seamus is gonna like put his fingers together and go, "Okay, first of all, I'm sorry about your dog," as Salvador just cocks the gun.
This is a fucking John Wick moment.
Don't say that. Don't say that. This is not the time for that, Seamus. Please.
You killed his dog?
I set his dog on fire. I don't know if it died. You see
Oh, shit.
Salvatore's hand shaking.
I'm gonna hand Seamus
Mr. President
a
will
healing
grab
candy. Go ahead.
Mr.
Not in the
President,
head.
Mr. President will grab a gun too.
Salvador blows off Seamus's leg as he starts screaming.
I'm just gonna hand him a healing candy so that
Hey,
he can just
Sam.
undo the damage.
Yeah, what's up?
What was the roll for the gun?
He has a wiggle dice and he did a called shot, so 2 2s, I believe.
Okay, so it doesn't destroy his leg; it just puts it out of commission.
It bounces a few feet in front of him and just falls to the ground.
Oh no! He stops that and goes, "What?" He looks at
Don't worry about
Seamus, goes, "Is Magus here?" Wait, no,
No.
that doesn't make sense.
First
Anyway.
rule of business: no shooting during business.
We can't hear you.
I know. He's just yelling that.
Okay, so Sal, what's going on? Did you hear there's a civil war? Have you heard that much?
I didn't hear that part. No, what?
Okay, the Cayman is starting a civil war. When he got back, he went on the warpath. Seamus is on the Cayman's side. We've met Seamus before, and we're working with him to help facilitate the Cayman's victory.
Excuse me.
All right.
Can you stop pointing the gun at him?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I lost my cool there. I am sorry about that.
No, it's understandable. I get it. I would have shot him too with the dog thing. Sorry.
Seamus is just gonna go, I'm just surprised I have all my limbs right now. I'm taking any victory I can get. Yeah. So it's gonna kick off sometime in the next week. Again, we highly suggest you take strategic points before the fight. We can try and put key members of the Iron Legion into certain fights. That way you'll be able to pick them off because they're not, especially for the first couple, they're not going to be expecting you. Acid Pit's probably the most important, but there's a number of smaller sites around if you want to take those. And,
Yes, we have plans to go to the acid pit already.
Awesome. And finally, in the event of an emergency, Seamus takes out a little giraffe glass figurine. You see an animated silhouette in there. If you break this figurine, it'll be seen for miles. This one will basically be... It's one of the few figurines that'll trigger the rebellion early. It'll trigger
see.
the Civil War. So be careful with it.
Okay. I'm just going to immediately take that and hand it to Skateboard Kid because I'm fairly certain he can have that not break.
He's on his skateboard and he's wearing knee pads. How he falls?
I don't trust anyone more than Skateboard Kid,
He falls more than anyone
which is probably
else.
incorrect, but I have
Skateboard
never
Kid is
seen
a
Skateboard Kid fall.
Skateboard Kid breaks it immediately.
He is spray painted. I'm 2D. There is no material plane for it to travel through to convert potential to kinetic energy.
You've gotten a lot faster at writing. Good job. The Sweet Tooth is going to give a genuine clap.
Thanks, I've been practicing. He's doing an ollie over the eye.
Either way, you should probably go with Seamus though, so you can go help the Cayman.
No, I think we're planning to facilitate a meeting with the Cayman. We would like to bring Sal to that meeting so we can deliver him directly to the Cayman.
Oh, okay.
And we think that might be the only way that we can actually get the Cayman to meet us. He's very angry with Charlie right now.
Seamus and Salvador look at each other. You're gonna have Salvador start speaking. You're gonna have to sneak me in.
That's fine. We can do that.
Seamus is gonna nod and go. Yeah. So for the record, everything's kind of cloak and dagger right now. On the surface, the Iron Legion is functioning as normal, which means if you try and get Salvador in, he's gonna be killed on sight, pretty much.
Yes.
If you get him in during the Civil War, well, Salvador's just gonna put a hand in and go, I'm not a fighter. I can hold my own, but if you put me in the middle of a war, I'm probably going to die again. So the timing is going to be difficult.
Karatat. The main concern, we have a delivery that we need to make. I have something that I'm going to provide to assist your side in the war. I actually have already provided a little bit to the Fringe Marquis. He's going to be passing it on, which will be helpful. But I have something that I'm going to make that should, in essence, make a Mark III who uses it. Well, make a Goliath look like a pansy.
Well, we do need that. So, okay. Seamus takes out a letter. It's of the same make that Granny Weatherwax was using. This is a purple seal on it. It's treated with the Cayman's blood. Once you seal it, he's going to be the only person in existence who can open it. I suggest you keep everything in there as much as possible.
Okay. I'm assuming I can't fit more than just like a regular amount of things in that.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a manila envelope, so it's decently large, but
But it's not 196 pieces of candy large.
no.
Or to be exact with sizes, 196 drill bits.
You could probably fit like 50 or so in there, yeah. It'd be a bit finicky, but yeah, you could do it.
And then you make the candy in a different form factor, sort of like fruit by the foot or something. So
Absolutely not. They're called drill bites. They have to be in the shape of drill bits. Otherwise, they don't work.
Okay. You also still have the transport seals that Granny Weatherwax give you. You can put the outgoing ones in there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like we could give him the seals. I want to deliver the candy to him or the Ironmonger another time, though. Because, A, I don't have that made right now.
Okay. Yeah. So Seamus is going to put up his hands and go, hey, yeah, no, that's cool. So, I am going to be in town for a couple of days anyway, because I'm trying to see... You got a lot of very scary people in here. I'm going to see what other people I can grab, if any.
Sure. If you need to use our name and say you'd be helping us out, that's... You can... if you want to send them off to us to talk, we can do that. Or use this as a meeting place if you want to get us involved. I'll give you that.
Gonna try and keep things separate, honestly. If you guys want to do that on your own time, that's fine, but I'm gonna try and live within my means here.
Okay. Well, if you need food and board, that we can provide.
Much appreciated. Sorry for the slander campaign I tried to wage on you guys earlier.
Hey.
Never actually said
Hey.
that, but...
I get it. We understand.
Alright, well, this seems to be the fashion here, so Seamus just jumps out the window.
He unfortunately finds that it is considerably more than one story down.
Uh-oh.
Like 10 seconds later, a healing candy just falls down next to him.
It is one story down at that point.
He's fine. He'll be fine. Alright.
Sweet Tooth's just gonna like look out, intending to yell, and just see that it's one story now. It'll unbreak your legs. Enjoy.
No, he fell into a cart full of hay that happened to be, for some reason, coincidentally passing by the one-story window. And he fell, like, out, up, and into the hay. Yeah, none of this makes sense. Don't think too hard about it.
That's fine.
Don't think too hard about it. Okay. Now, did you guys want to get preparations for heading to the acid pit now, make plans, or do you have other stuff you wanted to do here?
Yeah, Sweet Tooth can make a candy for heading to the acid pit. Is that fight likely to happen this session, or can I make the candy in between sessions and just say I sent it with us?
Off, if you'd like. We do have... It is almost 9, so I don't know if we'll be able to do the full thing tonight if you guys want to hold off. I didn't know if there was anything else you guys wanted to do first, though. If you had anything else you could think to do?
Captain Dumont has been hunting a sea serpent, and or the nearest equivalent in the local area.
I mean, if you want to fight one of the legendary masters, there's one in the shop right now.
There is?
Yeah, Sweet Tooth's in the shop.
No, we'll save that for another day.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't need to do the same, just Captain Dumont's been hunting a sea serpent or the nearest equivalent.
Okay.
So, I'm going to be a bit creative with this scene. So, Captain Dumont is dozens of miles south of the candy shop, far into the bog, far into land that has maybe never seen the touch of man, ocean that has gone deeper and darker than any waters have gone in human history.
Warning, Reaper class life form detected. Are you sure what you're doing is worth it?
Yeah, kinda. A storm is currently rocking the Spirit of the Unknown. One of the crewmen is going, "Captain, are you sure we can weather this storm?"
Captain Dumont definitely has like this Baroque compass in one hand, Mercedes-Benz steering wheel in the other. Steady as she goes, crewmen, we're only a few miles out. A legendary head for the taking awaits.
The second you finish that line, one of your crewmen goes, "Aye, aye, Cap!" And then he's suddenly silenced. I need you to make a perception check for me.
Hey,
Good, I think I know what's happening here. It's gonna rule.
that is my dice roller. Wow. Are there any matches there? Yes, there are 2 6s and 2 9s.
All right, that works. The 2 9s specifically.
Yes.
It sounds like his voice was drowned out by the storm, but upon closer inspection, what you actually notice as you look at him was a single raindrop has pierced his head like a bullet as the man drops dead a second later.
Umbrellas! Break out the umbrellas!
It's good you called out that alarm. Your crewmen bring out the armored umbrellas as the rain begins actually hitting the deck like bullets. Single drops tearing into inches of wood. The crewmen who don't get their umbrellas open in time are turned into red mist as you hear a low, droning, overwhelming, just not even a roar, just a wall of sound vibrating you down to your bone, and the skies crack with light in reply. And through the rain and the mist and the clouds and the light, you see the silhouette of something massive, miles high at the least. And as you look at it, you realize this is, in a sense, a serpent. It's also thousands of serpents. You see tendrils weaving together into larger tendrils that weave into larger tendrils, weaving into 7 separate heads like living wicker baskets with individual glowing green eyes coalescing into these giant liquid pools. And as one gazes down on the ship, one of the smaller eyes, larger than an island, the green light just seeps into your ship and is blinding.
The Hydra! It comes!
Now, you're going to be hit with a mechanic here.
Ooh!
This, as the green light suffuses you, you understand this thing despises you because you have something it doesn't. Now, I'm just going to look at your sheet real fast here.
Hey, let me shoot it over to you because I'm not sure I actually shared it with you.
No, it's fine. I can pick something abstract.
Okay.
It envies the relationship you have with your crew.
Ooh,
Now,
I know this.
you know this?
Are you saying that I know that? That was a question. Do I know this?
Yes, you understand this on an instinctual level.
I would like to offer to induct it into my crew.
So, this is not jealousy. It doesn't want that. This is envy. It hates you for having that. It doesn't want to make itself better. It wants
Okay,
you
fair
to
enough.
be worse. It wants to destroy what you have.
Do I get to envy something it has in return?
Unfortunately, envy is its domain.
Sure.
So, to explain what this is, while it envies you, while it has an object of envy in your possession, it is going to get 5 attack levels on anything it does right now.
Oh shit!
The second you understand what's happening here, the light seems to suffuse everything around you, and your crew the raindrops start just obliterating through the umbrellas. The crew just start getting liquefied. So they go, Captain, it's picking up! What do we do?
All hands below! This is my fight now! I'm gonna send the whole crew below and man the ship myself.
Alright. So, we are envied, and we have Paint the Skies active. So every round, you are going to take 5 shocking killing doll hit locations with penetration 2.
Brutal.
What's its width?
Technically a
that.
width of 10.
Okay.
10 hard dice. So what are you going to do against this beast?
I would like to make the dramatic declaration that this is. Thank you, Seth. That this is a climactic fight between me and only one of its heads, and that the theme is beating a head of the Hydra in order to claim its skull. That is, I would like to set that scene. May I do that?
Okay, yeah. I will agree to that and limit it to just one of its heads.
Okay. So as long as it doesn't use its other heads, it has stay in character active.
Okay.
If it breaks that and tries to use another of its heads, it gets don't break character.
Okay.
That being said, Captain Dumond is going to. What's the most narratively appropriate? From Hell's heart I strike at thee. Captain Dumond is going to charge the Spirit of the Unknown towards it to engage it in mortal combat with his massive, bright, brilliant white painted harpoon that he has in one hand. His other hand on the wheel of the Spirit of the Unknown. And he will attempt to engage it in battle. Can't use the guns
Because the crew's down below.
because the crew's down below.
Okay. I need to know the width and initiative on that.
Sure, I'll post it.
Okay. Only penetration 3 with 6. Okay. So,
But it does have engulf and duration.
correct. So, since this is willpower bid and as you go to pierce this thing with the harpoon, it just gets stuck in the flesh. It does not penetrate. You're going to lose 1 willpower from the willpower.
Oh no!
Ooh, exciting.
Now, fortunately, this thing's hide has obvious on it, so you're going to know exactly how much armor this head has. This head has 12 heavy armor.
12 heavy armor.
You can do that? You can go above 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You can just technically make multiple powers that give you heavy armor.
Second, it's extra tough. I do have that it has obvious on it, so you know exactly how much health it has at any one point on this head. This head still has 70 of its 70 hitboxes remaining.
Okay.
It is going to make a body check to just slam the Spirit of the Unknown. That is going to get 10 tens with, I believe, well, the important thing is that its mass capacity is high.
Okay. So that would be resisted by flight,
That's the
yes?
thing. You just rolled Ahab's Prime Harpoon as an attack for this round.
Ah, okay.
You didn't roll.
Well, that was Captain Dumont. The ship gets its own defense, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. What are you rolling to defend?
I think the only relevant thing is flight. Because I've got armored on the ship, but I've also got flight, which is 6 dice plus 1 wiggle dice as a defense, and it's endless.
Okay.
So do I just roll 6 dice and add a wiggle dice?
Yeah, go for it.
3 8s.
Okay. And
Does
how
that
much heavy armor
have
is on the ship?
interference?
No.
How
Okay.
much heavy armor is on the ship?
5 hard dice of heavier.
Okay.
And
So-
5 hard dice of light armor, I think.
So you see this head, for lack of a better word, unweave into a massive funnel as it takes a bite out of the surrounding 3 miles. At the
I'm sorry, out of the surrounding what?
3-mile radius.
Oh.
It is then going to collapse suddenly. This is just a narrative thing at this point. As the thing collapses, a massive volume of superheated air comes down. The Spirit of the Unknown, you see its mast, damaged from the rains earlier, begin to splinter.
The heavy armor does have interference.
Yes, it has to. For heavy armor.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry.
The wind pushes you through a small gap in this thing's woven head as it collapses, and the last thing you see as you escape its head is just a flash of superheated air as this thing's head hits the ground, and you just see a shock wave originate from that point. As you wake up sometime later, after the Spirit of the Unknown has hit the ground at high speed,
Brutal.
you just see a miles-wide crater where this head hit. Chunks of earth flaming are still raining down on the area. The creature nowhere to be seen.
Curse you! You vile, villainous, serpentine abomination! For what you have done to me, what you've taken from me, I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth!
Alright. Captain Dumont has sworn vengeance on the Storm Leviathan.
Do I get a willpower?
Yes.
Can I just share like my favorite part of this character, Sam?
Yeah?
I like that when you made it, you didn't actually add anything new to this character from what you took it from.
Yeah. The Bible
It
is
is-
fucked up.
This is just the pure biblical Leviathan.
Excellent.
I didn't realize that it noted that it had 12 heavy armor in there.
It's really. It's more that its feats and its powers are very, very well defined, actually.
I didn't know the Abrahamic God played wild talents. Learn something every day.
Yeah, I can't believe the 7 devils are fucking min-maxers. Anyway.
Who knew?
Anyway, your crew get the Spirit of the Unknown repaired right quick. As you guys see Captain Dumont come back to the candy shop, he looks... Derek, describe how Captain Dumont looks after that encounter.
Beaten, abused, bruised, battered, defeated, enraged, like he's just had his ass thrashed 6 ways from Sunday. Also quite happy.
Having a good day.
Does
It's
Amp
been a
know if you,
smashing adventure.
does Amp know if you need a license to hunt a storm leviathan?
No, they are kill on sight.
Oh man.
Not to worry, I have a permit. This just says I do what I want.
Son of a bitch. He's a sovereign citizen.
A little piece of paper that says IR21, so drinking is yes.
Now, just to give a narrative little nod here, as Captain Dumont is like shaking the water out of his boot, you guys see a small little white snake with a little glowing green, like it has a mouth like a leech or like a lamprey. Opens up, lots of needles. You notice its eyes are all in between those teeth, and they glow with an unearthly green. It's just a little snake about the size of your forearm.
Does Captain Dumont notice this?
Yes.
Captain Dumont is going to grab this thing and nail it to the bow of the Spirit of the Unknown.
Charlie would like to see powers on that.
This is a part of something much greater. You're gonna have to see powers on this thing for a while. If Captain Dumont kills it, that'll sever the connection. If you want to stop him.
Hey, can I take a look at this? I'm
Captain
trying to figure
Dumont
out what it is.
follows his nail and hammer in hand. Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course, go ahead, I don't need it.
What is it?
Tosses it at Charlie.
Oh no. Charlie's gonna like try and catch it.
Alright, it's gonna make a bind attack on Charlie. It's gonna be 4 10s.
Okay, I'm going to start draining it.
So this part is actually just its muscle. It's not. This part isn't actually paranormal.
Okay.
I don't think you can actually make the save because you don't have body 6, right?
I cannot.
Can Chivalry try to catch it? Save Charlie's life?
He can make an athletics. No, he can make a block check. He needs to beat 4 10s though in width though.
I can probably do that.
I believe in you.
If you can't, I'll...
Charlie will assist by trying to move out of the way.
Defenders win, right?
Yes.
Because I do have 4 10s.
Okay. So Chivalry, with his blindingly fast puppet speed, does a vault, catches it with one arm. It tethers around him, but with his superhuman strength, he's able to wrestle this thing and pin it.
Okay, I don't have to worry about my armor or anything?
No, your armor should be fine. It's protecting you from damage. Since you're blocking it, you can control where its head is going, which is good because it looks like it's warming up a beam attack.
Shit.
You see this thing inhaling. You see glowing green suffusing its...
Sweet Tooth runs over with like an armored bottle, just stick it in front of its mouth.
When you say armored bottle, what do you mean?
He's trying to catch whatever comes out of its mouth.
Okay.
Fucking Minecraft looking check.
You hold the
Dragon's
Minecraft
breath.
bucket in front of its face as it fires out these green flames. Not even flames, it's like light almost. Into this bottle, add 1 Fires of Creation to your inventory.
Cool.
And all of the fight just goes out of this thing as it realizes that it's got nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Charlie's just gonna stare at it for a bit, trying to figure out what's going on with sea powers.
Okay. So this, you can't get a full picture on the larger thing it's a part of. But this thing is part of something massive. Just following the connection, you just see this massive dark spot in the southern bog.
Dawn, what did you
Farther
get
than-
this from?
A vile enemy who brought me low by vile arts.
By saying brought you low, do you mean he slammed you into the ground?
That's not what I said. It was an honorable duel, and he cheated.
Does that trigger...
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's lying like a motherfucker. So many lies.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Sam, continue.
As you guys look down, it's split into two snakes now.
Okay, we should kill it.
Like Chivalry says,
Well,
it's
are
like
you
the
done with
room all over again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Captain Demon will grab both of them and nail them to each side of the bowsprit of the Spirit of the Unknown. If he can't get a full-size skull, by God, this'll do.
Yeah. That'll, they go down pretty easy. It looks like they're all in that bind and attack. They don't really have much health. What Charlie can see on these things is they have a little bit more health than a normal minion. They can take an attack or two. They split after a while. They have some healing. They have a beam attack, and their bind is pretty strong. They also have a very unique connection to whatever spawned them. You feel like it goes both ways somehow.
Okay. I'm not telling Sweet Tooth that. He'll be scared. They might be mad. Do I get the sense that these will continue splitting after they're dead, though?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, we're good. I also do want to make sure that they're not possuming and they actually are dead.
They are dead, yes.
Okay.
There
Just
are
in
some
case.
minions.
Next time there's a slow period, Captain Dumond will go out hunting another sea serpent, but this time in the opposite direction.
I hope it'll be the same one.
He gets lost, runs into Leviathan again.
Chivalry asks Charlie, would you happen to know what that was?
Not really. Devon, what was that? Like, can you just straight answer?
Up jumped lizard.
Do you have a more accurate description of it?
No! Captain Dumond will leave. A few seconds later, one of the crew members will sidle up with, like, some pictures and stuff of it.
Okay, now considering, let me see Chivalry's mind and roll because he might know.
Would Streetwise do here?
If you're native to the Flooded District, yes.
I would imagine. I have always imagined Charlie is.
Awesome. Mr. President would also be able to roll, because this is mythology and he has 10 mind.
Okay.
I have not actually gotten my dice out yet.
I have
I don't
rolled
think
for
I-
Chivalry as well because I feel he would know this shit based on where he was from. Chivalry got 2 9s.
Mr. President doesn't have 10 mind. He's got 7 mind.
That's still good enough. You're above 6.
Okay.
I
I actually know
I
matches.
just wanted to be fair. That was all.
I appreciate it.
Chivalry
5 10s.
Yeah. So we got 2 9s, 5 10s.
I didn't get anything.
Okay. So, in the Bible, the Leviathan is described in a similar way, a wreathed serpent. Some texts have described it as a serpent that's made up of other serpents. And so Chivalry will pin it down as a Leviathan. He recognizes the look of it from his time in Fairy, where he was immersed in mythology. He's heard of something similar to this thing. He has pegged it as a Leviathan. Now that opens up elaboration from Mr. President, who's like, okay, here I've seen stuff I'm familiar with cultural tropes and stuff like that. So things that are known about the Leviathan. The Leviathan is one of the 7 primordial devils, each associated with a sin. So whereas Mammon is associated with greed, the Leviathan is associated with envy.
Ah.
which means it probably has powers related to that. However, this thing doesn't look like Mammon, it seems just like a beast. So it's probably some variation or something going on there. You haven't heard rumors about this thing down here, which is suspicious. Maybe it's new, maybe it's just very recently come into the area.
It showed up because Captain Dumont went searching for a sea serpent. He has brought a blight upon this place.
An actual biblical scourge. Dumont, you've done it again.
This is much farther south than any major human settlements have been placed, though, in the flooded district. You hear there's been like some weird infinite sea type bullshit stuff coming in from the Scar that far south, but it's rare. It's really rare. The only people who would really have sailed that area would be the privateers, if you want more info on this thing.
Oh, we are going to be there.
That was fun. Thank you, Sam.
No worries.
I do have a unrelated follow-up question. I have a note here on Captain Dumont's sheet that he has a flawed piece of onyx with a red dot. I don't know what that is.
That was
Do you remember?
a while ago. I do know what that is. I don't think you've found the trigger for it yet, though.
Okay.
I mean, we have the entire research core.
I think the monster research thing is better than the Mr. President one.
If you'd like to roll for it.
Yeah, I can give it a try. We'll throw it in the we'll throw it in Timmy's parents' science device.
Okay.
Is that what your power is called?
No. Well, maybe it is now.
So as the crew researches this piece of flawed onyx, under certain thaumaturgical and magical influences, you see it changes into other shapes. And it has a connection to something and somewhere else, not of this like plane of reality.
So does it like absorb magical energies?
No, it seems to be like it's like you know how there's like certain metals that return to shapes when heated?
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that. Where it's like under certain pressures and influences, it turns into like the crude shape of a key, and another turns into a sacrificial knife.
What happens when Captain Dumont pokes it a bunch?
It crumbles like soft sand until you look away and it starts reforming.
Yeah, that tracks. Well, actually, Captain Dumont is going to pass it off to Charlie, seeing as Onyx is somewhat not narratively. Yeah, it's in the same dramatic kingdom as Glass. Let's put it that way. So I'll pass it off to Charlie. It seems more in his wheelhouse than Captain Dumont's.
Charlie will take it. I know just the expert. I know just the expert to take it too. Charlie's going to run this over to Takazma.
Ah.
Takazma's going to look it over. He's going to give you a raised eyebrow.
Do you know what it is?
He's going to shrug. He's going to go over to a nearby pane of stained glass in his office. He's going to tap it to it thrice. And the paint is going to shift, as are the divides in the glass, as it shifts to a war-torn battlefield. With a man sitting on top of conquered peoples, crows tearing at the death around him. You don't have details on the face yet, but as the painting is facing away from you, as it turns to face you guys, I'm going to need a stability check from Charlie real fast, because he's going to see what happens first.
Okay. That's not good. I have 4 dice for this.
Cool.
Did I get lucky? I did not get lucky.
Okay. So this will be 10 willpower to resist. If you want to spend that.
Are you going to tell me what happens first?
It technically has subtle on it, so I don't think I
I mean, I do...
Oh, wait, you have passive perception, though, right?
Yeah, I do have passive
Awesome.
perception.
Your blood is boiling with rage. If you don't pass this, you're going to try with everything you have to kill Takazuma.
Okay. Man, you just made me spend a base will.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
All right, Takazuma smashes the stained glass with his coffee mug. It is now permanently frozen at world's #1 dad. As Takazuma grabs you as you pass, like you're like shaking, your bones feel like they're on fire, your muscles are tensing hard enough to like snap your fingers in and out of place. Your vision's clouding. You touch one of your eyes. Your eye that's still meat is leaking blood right now. Takazuma's gonna donate a base will as he hugs you close.
Jeez, he does not need to do that.
Jesus.
He's the world's best dad. What do you expect?
We are best friends.
And that was your encounter with Wrath.
I see. After having a long conversation with Takazuma, which is comprised of the two of us sitting silently drinking coffee, which is probably one of his favorite conversations with me, and then nodding at each other and leaving, I'm just going to walk back to Captain Dumont, just put it in his hand, not breaking eye contact. No, you can keep this one, and then just walk back to the candy shop.
Captain Dumont will look at it very dubiously, back to Charlie, back at it, sort of give a small shrug with furrowed eyebrows, and tuck it away in the hold of the Spirit of the Unknown, where it will not return unless narratively appropriate.
It goes into the prison.
It goes into the forever box.
It goes into the forever box.
No, actually, it doesn't go into the forever box. It goes into the until box.
Yes, yes, that is a much, much better phrase. It goes into the until box.
You did a ucky fucky. Time to go to the until box.
You have messed with narrative continuity. You're going to the until box.
Let's see. We found
Brazil, I'm
Leviathan.
sending you to the until box.
So that was Leviathan of
Not
Envy
going to exist
earlier.
until Portuguese colonialism.
Which one is Wrath against Sam? I don't
I
remember.
believe it's Satan.
All right.
It's the angry one.
So wait, are we just fighting all the 7 deadly sins at this point?
It's
Now we
just
are.
been in his inventory for like 4 months. You could have done this at any point. It just happened.
We'll wait for a slow day, and then we'll sail through a window and fight the devil.
Which one?
Yes.
There
I'm
we
not
go.
picky.
We're not doing all
Whatever one comes out to, give us a scrap.
Alright, boss rush, I guess.
I mean, like, hey, do we have any doubloons laying around? Can we just speedrun how many demons we're meeting today?
You do
Kill
actually have some
7
doubloons
billion
lying around.
demons.
They're in
No.
Old Man Jenkins' puzzle box.
I see. I didn't expect or want an answer of yes to that question.
You guys have 6 of them locked up, yeah.
Okay, good to know. Anyway, I do think we should probably head off to the acid pit. Does everyone agree with that?
Don't we have to start heading over to the...
No, we're fast enough.
We are most
Okay.
certainly fast enough.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's
Yeah,
going to ensure light rain. Or
It's because time and space is irrelative with Captain Dumont.
It actually is now. Sam, I thought I had sent my character sheet to you, but I guess I didn't.
Oh, there.
Here it is.
Did you
And
buy something that
on
makes timey-wimey?
yes, it is under the Spirit of the Unknown, directly under flight, a suitably dramatic entrance.
Oh, excellent. Fucking amazing. This is great. Okay, we're gonna pin this. So yeah, it's like 7 a.m. now.
All right.
You guys have had a morning.
It's
We
it's
have
been a
had a
morning. Oh well, are we ready to go off and fight the acid pit?
All right, it is currently 9:30. I don't think we're going to have time for that scene. You guys want to call it early?
I mean,
Sure.
can we arrive at the acid pit and like get a look around, or is it going to be show up and immediately start fighting?
I would like to notice that a suitably dramatic entrance has obvious on it.
So I'm gonna...
That's only reasonable.
You're immediately going to be in conflict with the Iron Legion people there, but that may not be a fight. It's like an investigation diplomacy type thing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess let's just do that next session.
Okay.
It's good because I had a bit I wanted to do with Bill.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, that session was a bit of a mess. Sorry, guys.
No, that's fine.
It's all right.
Fine.
A lot of fun shit happened in there.
Crewman Manuel will return.
Let's do experience. First things first. Everyone gains 1 for showing up.
Wait, before we leave,
Yes.
can Mr. President get God?
Evidace?
No, I was just trying to get Sweet Tooth to sign the contract so we can start having the people build the building.
Hancock, you can sign these. Oh, he's going to say that while he's signing this. We're both on the...
It's a purchase order. Listen, forms need to be filled out. Okay? And out of the global bank it's 1,500 pieces of 8 per person per day. And I think it's taking 2 days, Sam?
Yes.
And it's 10 people?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's the total amount?
Let me get a calculator.
So I can do this with mental math, but I don't trust myself.
Don't bother.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be about 30,000.
30,000. Which is way lower than what I thought it was going to be.
Can Captain Demond contribute a knickknack and curiosity to reduce that?
No, we don't need to.
Okay.
I could have built this for free, but we're not stimulating the economy.
This is literally so that we can pay people.
Gotcha.
That doesn't even make a dent.
Yeah, we don't need to be billionaires sitting on our dragon boards.
I was actually a little upset that we couldn't pay that lady earlier because I
You
was
should
also
fund the
trying
public
to.
library as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, I started a school that will have a library in it.
Captain Dumont will-
will totally she has books to contribute if you would like. She would make a fine librarian, I think.
Captain
Okay.
Demond
She
will also
does
contribute
not
books.
tilt her head any way this way or that because those candles are lit.
But yeah, we're good on money right now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I think you have the money, Seth.
Yeah, I'm tracking it. I have subtracted that amount already.
Okay.
But just Hancock, both of our names are on this. We all have access to the money. We are legally distinct in that anyone can do
Technically,
this.
you control the money. I do all the paperwork. And I'll pull out another contract. See, it says here under section 4.5.
We very specifically don't want to do that. Change it immediately.
Wait, why doesn't? Who are we gonna have underneath the money? I do the
so
contract
you see that as
negotiation.
Sweet Tooth signed it. You look down. It says this order approved by the Court of Mammon Gray.
Sweet Tooth's just gonna point his hand at that.
How did you do that?
I didn't.
Flashback. Sweet Tooth is
That's
still
the
under
problem.
contract by Mammon Gray. He was sold into essentially debt slavery. You guys haven't gotten that one back yet?
Okay.
That's why Sweet Tooth has been very explicit that he is not the owner of the candy shop or sole owner. He's a partial owner.
Got it. So then we'll make Charlie the person in charge of the money. Charlie! With your one mind.
Charlie has two mind.
He's got two
One
minds.
for the money.
Actually,
you
Joe-
has one mind. We need to put you as the money guy.
Bill has
Sure.
one mind.
Oh
Does
He
Bill
does?
have money? Because there's a bit I wanted to do with Bill anyway.
No, we can't get Bill money.
I'm gonna keep tracking the money. It's just like it doesn't matter whose signature's on there. But if you want Charlie's, it's already there.
Bill has enough self-control to not just go into the Discount Louisiana rotisserie. He'd keep the money pretty well.
Also, it's already written
In
on
the
sheet, and I've been
discount
tracking it for a
rotisserie.
while.
Trust
No, he
me.
wouldn't do that. He has 8 command. He has
But,
such self-control.
just so you're happy, Bill, a add-on to the shop is in that contract, so that there is a discount rotisserie chicken for you. Yep.
We're putting you on the roof.
So you have 2 restaurants to run. You have the school restaurant and then this restaurant. Good luck.
Which is weird because of where Bill is at the moment.
Which is?
So, Bill left, but if you went to look for him, he's not in his room. Animal would know where he was, and it might only be Animal. Where?
Why wouldn't Charlie know?
Charlie should know you have glass on you at all times.
Okay. So if Charlie were to focus on it, he would notice that the candy shop does have a basement. But did you know it had a sub-basement?
It does?
It has a sub-basement. And as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you find the water heater gets slightly bigger and more impressive each time, which just explains how this place still has running water in the flooded district.
Well, I have one counter for you.
And
Did
then
you
at
know
the,
that we have a sub-attic?
at the very bottom, you find the source of all of the heat. It's probably not what it was supposed to be, but Bill, miserable with the knowledge of his fate and who he is tinking away down there, his hammer raised high, bringing it down on the meadow in the InfoSec Medallion Foundry.
That was a good joke.
I have had this joke written for like 2 years, and the fact that the InfoSec medallions are canon as per what happened at the Hive, this had to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And also, a bunch of yours got eaten by Animal this morning.
Yes,
He didn't even eat the decoy chocolate ones.
he's been hanging out with Avagra.
They've been getting into competitions. Avagra challenges him to see how much metal he can eat. He challenges Avagra to see how many drugs she can do. Unfortunately, they don't realize the other's biology kind of makes this incredibly unfair. Okay, so everyone gains 1 experience.
Okay.
This was a weird session. So would you say who was most useful is appropriate or no?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Who here had the worst time this week, you guys think?
Demond.
No, I think Damon has a good time whenever he's doing
I
anything.
had a great time.
Yeah, I
Mark
think your
loses life.
definition of
I mean, it was an awful time, yes, but more than that, it was a great time.
yeah, it was an adventure. And any adventure, no matter terrible or good, is good for Damon.
Yes. I think Bill.
Bill working in the slave pits of the InfoSec medallion's pretty bad.
No, I was more thinking Bill discovering that his grandfather, he might be, what's his face's grandfather, and also that he might not have free will.
Yeah, okay, you know what, I agree.
That's where he shit all over him. It was brutal.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that one goes to Tom, I think, question mark.
Speaking of InfoSec medallions,
Yeah.
I just remembered this. I gave Sam an InfoSec medallion at D&D on Saturday.
Oh, yeah! I think
Canon in other games now.
we just... Did I message you about that?
Yeah, I've looked into having them made. I've looked into having some made.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
InfoSec medallions are real, though.
What?
Yeah, they have, cybersecurity medallions.
Huh.
Sick.
Yeah, but it's not the... Oh, they do. Huh.
The real-time Google.
Huh. Well,
Sick.
So
It's not
InfoSec
for-
medallions are things you can get pretty easily.
it's not hand-forged by Tom, though.
Let it be known that I didn't know these were a thing when I came up with the joke.
Well,
Okay.
I would still get some custom made because I have a very specific goofy ass idea what they should look like. But
Please draw it, or commission an artist to draw it.
Okay. So, before I forget,
Jo-
Bill Gaines.
Yeah, go.
Who stayed in character best this week?
Dumond.
Well, I mean, I think everyone had their own scene except for me and Bob. So I would say all three of the people that actually had scenes. So Seth, Dumont, and Tom.
Staying in character, trying to take care of the Logan refugees.
Yeah, that was like a minor scene though.
I vote for Crewman Manuel because he stayed in character as Captain Dumond.
Yeah, that's why I'm voting for Derek because he his Emmanuel stayed in character as Dumont, even though he is. Point goes to Derek for Manuel's Oscar performance.
I'm good to give this one to Derek.
Okay. Derek gets it. Yeah, I do realize I didn't give. Now I feel bad. I didn't realize I didn't give you guys Major C. My bad.
It's fine. It happens. It literally happens. Like it happens. I mean, that's part of running TTRPGs.
I feel like John had a good character scene.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna vote. For the next question, funniest bit, I'm voting for Bob. That Amogus thing killed me.
Very good. It was very good.
Seth just said Among Us, and my brain went, hey,
Among
do
Us.
it. Do it!
Put this
It's like-
evil in game.
That's the one Propulsion knows.
Actually, I don't want to. So I don't as much want to give that one to Bob as I want to give that one to Repulsion.
I want to give it to Bob because he's the reason that scene happened.
Nah, let's give it a Repulsion.
I'm down for giving it to Repulsion.
Repulsion gets it, then repulses it onto Propulsion. Bob Gaines
Nice.
experience.
That was for the next question. Did we ever decide the current question? Does that go to Namond?
I believe so.
Yeah.
For the Manuel's Oscar-winning performance. Okay. Was that all
Crewman
the
Manuel
experience or
and Tara
can I-
No, there should be one more.
Should be
Yeah.
one more.
We should be the.
Let's see here.
Can I have one for being 50% of the session?
I feel like that's a failure on my part.
Sam, lose an experience.
Sam,
One brain cell.
take 1 XP away from Mammon Gray.
Okay, done. He has one less willpower.
Mammon Gray is now aware of this. He's pissed. He's coming for you. Run.
Now, I need to be clear.
He's
What you
coming.
might have heard is Mammon Gray was coming to kill one of your characters. That is incorrect. Mammon Gray is coming for Chris Anzum Knapp.
Oh no, I thought it was more that he was
Run.
coming to become Sam's boss at the hotel.
He's coming.
Oh,
Don't
no.
He's coming.
Don't do this
He's
to me.
coming.
I can't suffer the consequences of my
He's-
actions.
He just sits there as your manager next to you. Like, why aren't you standing at the front desk, Sam? You must be always, and shackles you to the
Soon.
front desk.
Considering what Sam has told me about working in the hotel industry, Sam's best boss has been Kyle, but I feel Mammon Gray would be like a very strong second place.
That's just working minimum wage. I feel like you guys haven't worked a lot of minimum wage jobs.
I didn't even
Hey,
make minimum
but-
wage, which is the fucked up part.
You sh-
Anyway, so.
I, for some reason, took that as you were making less than minimum wage. I was like, wait a second, Sam.
fuck.
He's
That's
not a
not impossible.
soldier, and he's not and he doesn't work in a restaurant. He has to make more than minimum wage.
That's fair. I worked in a restaurant, and that's ass cheeks.
Yeah.
So,
Nobody commented
final
on he's not a
question.
soldier.
First person to think of a way to speedrun all the devils in one session, go.
Okay,
Use
really-
Dumont's
yeah.
narrative power. Use Dumont's narrative power to speedrun it.
Okay, Charlie spoke the loudest.
And first, thank you very much.
I think I
I
missed the
spoke
question.
at the
Sorry.
same time as you, Seth.
I think that part of
You just
this
spoke
question is flawed because we all started talking
yeah,
over
no,
each other.
I realized that as soon as it happened. Okay.
What was
Okay,
the
but
question?
Sam, the
what
question
I meant
is-
to say was, like, who can do it in the fewest steps? That's what I meant by fastest. Let's start
Battle
by...
Royale.
It doesn't work if it's a battle royale.
We throw them all in the same place and then fight for battle royale.
Oh,
The circle's closing.
Okay.
Question!
Sam, pay man and Gray to summon all of them.
What the fuck was the question for Derek?
Oh, fastest way to speedrun all the devils in the set. Like, fight them all at once. Fastest way to do it.
Okay, before we answer this, I do feel the need to ask that question of you, Sam.
Sure.
Do you have the 8th deadly sin in there?
Which was the 8th deadly sin?
Despair.
Oh, right, we did talk about that. Not yet, no.
Okay.
I stand by my answer.
Battle Royale.
Or just use a suitably dramatic entrance to get to all of
So
them.
we got Battle Royale, we got Pay Man and Gray.
Suitably dramatic entrance would not actually be all that fast. Because it's only between scenes, you'd still have to fight them one by one.
That does feel a tad slower. I think the fastest would be... Currently, of the answers, the fastest does seem to be Battle Royale, depending how fast you can...
Okay, but how do you set up the battle royale?
Yeah, how do you
Like,
get them there?
You don't
Fair.
Attain enlightenment.
like you get to the battle royale through my method.
That is a fair point. You have a retort, Christopher.
No, I just don't care enough.
I have
Ouch!
I have an answer for this, but I have to ask: am I answering from a Hub Squad perspective?
Does that summon
Yes.
the eighth?
Chris did
sin?
unlock the optional boss. I think, does that count extra? He unlocked Despair.
I'd say no.
I don't know who brought it up.
You told me 7.
Alright, that's fair. We are going with it 7. I will give Chris extra credit. You get an extra credit point, Chris.
You get
I'm
points.
writing-
Not an experience point, that's an extra
I'm writing
credit
extra
point.
credit. I'm gonna use it for this power that I don't know how to make.
Okay.
Mon still has a fucking narrative point that I have no idea how to use.
I have a low point for bringing up the 8th demon.
I didn't grant that. You take that back. Okay.
What?
Yeah, you only have things that are granted. He did not
I was
grant you that.
asking if I could have that.
Oh.
Well, I have a Fires of Creation.
Okay, my answer for how to speedrun all of the devils is
You get
Kiss
Chainsaw
'em.
Man.
okay, like part of the problem I have with this is I actually know where 4 of them are. I'm gonna abstain from answering.
You get Denji from Chainsaw Man. You have him fight the devils.
Okay, Tom, Bob, the copyright lawyers are coming for us right now. I can hear them. I'm going to need to stop your answer right here. Tom gained willpower for restraint. I'm going to say it goes to Seth for having the most setup.
Cool.
Hey. Mine was the fastest. You just have to sit underneath a tree until you figure out how to not care about dying.
Bob,
Sitting under a tree doesn't sound very fast.
He's going to gain... Bob,
Sitting under a tree lets you discover gravity.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's going on Sigmar.
Oh, dude,
Bob beating
Warhammer,
Sigmar is amazing.
basically Warhammer Fantasy Buddha, except deadlier. And
what is up, my Brody Sattvas?
I actually do have Sigmar mostly built on 197 points.
Okay. Any final thoughts or concerns on this session?
While it was hectic, this was a fun session. Although I do feel bad for taking up like the entire first half of the session. I was kind of trying to have the meeting with Granny Wax like off screen, but you didn't
Why'd you
respond. And I was
summon
like,
everyone?
Yeah,
'Cause- Sam said to do that.
Sam did say to do that.
I fucked
Okay.
up.
It's all Sam's fault.
That's fine.
Got it.
That's fine.
I'm gonna still blame Seth. Just to
Yeah,
take
that's
some
great.
pressure off of Sam.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It was completely my fault. I also wasn't trying to blame Sam. I don't think I communicated that very well.
Yeah.
How
dare you blame the
to do
DM?
that in game because technically speaking, she has several abilities that could prove useful to you guys, and I felt weird putting those into DMs when I
Fair.
I still want to make her the librarian.
That is, if she'd be willing to do that, I actually do like the idea of starting a library.
The library's in the school.
No, there should be a separate library as well.
There should be definitely a separate.
We don't have the space for that yet.
I thought we had like
Separate
multiple
library
No,
is just
all our
Avery's
pods
own
are
room.
fucking used at this point, except
No,
for the large
that's-
slot.
Yeah, the large plot, which
In 2
Buy
days,
some
we can
more.
Open the salvage slot up. Yeah. Sorry, I guess I'm kind of fading right now. I'm just gonna.
how much is it affordable? Is it affordable to buy more land?
Kind of. It's just administratively, it's kind of a nightmare because the mayor's office is shut down right now.
Gotcha.
Wait a
So-
second. Why are we worried about space when we have access to an infinitely large void?
Well, we're worried about space because we need to set it up, in the hub, not in one of the candy shop's back rooms. This is supposed to be a public library.
Enter the broom closet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Tom. We just build it in the void and
Yes.
have some random door with a wax seal on it.
Yes. We just build a gigantic chamber in the void, presumably moored to the door. I guess it can be falling forever. But I'd be worried about broom interactions in that case.
Yeah. I don't think that's a usable space because of the broom being in there, honestly.
We should probably look in there at some point, see how much of that space is taken up
I
by
will
broom.
say, Sweet Tooth does occasionally go in there to test range of, candy.
I see.
He'll just lob something off into the distance.
How many
Every
brooms
day.
does he see in there?
Every day there's a little bit more broom.
Yeah. He'd make sure to not hit the brooms.
Alright.
What's fun?
Cool. Chris, you said you had a power you wanted help with? You can just DM
I DM'd you, Ari.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look at that at work. I am gonna go pass out for 30 minutes.
Okay,
Okay,
alright.
I'll
You
give
have
more details as you go to
30 minutes.
sleep.
Alright. I will see you guys.
Bye.
Peace.